Nowadays, whatever earns money, gets us money, we choose that occupation. 20 years down the line, everyone wanted to be an engineer. Now everyone want to do MBA, BBA, MBA. Everyone you ask, all students, what are you doing? We're going for BBA, we're going for MBA. That's it. It is a trend. And so whether your nature is suitable for this or not, it doesn't matter. Whatever is there in the trend, whatever the most people are doing, we have to follow that. And that creates lots of problems and imbalance in the society. Because I'm not meant for that, but still, due to the peer pressure, to the pressure of the society, I'm forced to do that. And when I'm not able to do that, I'm pressurized. I feel myself inferior, and there's so many inferiority complex, depression problems, because I'm trying to do that which is not suitable for my nature. But there's no one to guide me. All this career counseling, etc. Also, they also see which will earn you more money. That's it. Which things are in demand. But that is not the criteria. The criteria is in which mode you are predominantly situated. And accordingly, that occupation is selected. And right from the beginning, when the students used to go to the Gurukul, the Guru used to observe them. And he used to see, okay, this boy has this predominant mode of nature. So he should be trained like a Kshatriya. He should be trained like a Brahman. He should be trained like a Vaishya. So then it was very simple. So if we know our Swabhav, it really eases our life. It makes our life very easy. Problem is we don't even know our Swabhav. What to talk of Sarup? Sarup is our real constitutional position, our relationship with Krishna. That is our real identity. That is difficult to know. Even this material world, we don't know what exactly is the mixture of modes of nature of us. What is my true nature? We don't know. And we should choose our occupation as per our nature. Then we'll be very comfortable. And then use that occupation which we have selected as per our nature in the service of Krishna, and then we'll achieve perfection. That the next verse says. Yata pravarti bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swakarmana tam abharcharya siddhim vinnanti manava. Yes, Loknath Rao, can you read?
Prabhuji, I have Odia.
Okay. Yes, Kuber Prabhu, you read.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
By worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all pervading, a man can attain perfection through performing his own work.
Yes, you see, so we can attain perfection through our own work, just by dovetailing our work in the service of Krishna. Okay. So you can read the second paragraph of this, Prabhuji. Everyone should think.
Everyone should think that he is engaged in a particular type of occupation by Rishikesh, the master of the senses, and by the result of the work in which one is engaged, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, should be worshipped. If one thinks always in this way, in full Krishna consciousness, then by the grace of the Lord, he becomes fully aware of everything. That is the perfection of life. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 12.7, Tesam aham samudharta. The Supreme Lord himself takes charge of delivering such a devotee. That is the highest perfection of life. In whatever occupation one may be engaged, if he serves the Supreme Lord, he will achieve the highest perfection.
So whether I'm serving as a Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Shudra, doesn't matter. As per my nature, I should do my occupation and I should offer the results of that work to Krishna. That way, I'll achieve perfection. Swa yata pravartir bhutani yena sarvavinantam swakarmana. With my own work, tam abharcharya, I worship siddhim vinnanti manava, I achieve perfection. Okay. Now, if someone says that the duty of Kshatriya and others are compared of lower gunas, lower modes, so shouldn't everyone should try to perform the work of a Brahmana? No. Shreyansav dharmo viguna paradharma swanishchitat swabhava niyatam karvam kuran apnoti klibhasham. Yes, Venu Lenin Prabhu.
it is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another's occupation and perform it perfectly. Duties prescribed due according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reactions.
Yeah. So one should not try to imitate other person. This is the problem of modern society. We always compare ourselves with others. That brings in competition. Vedic culture was based on cooperation. Modern society is based on competition, cutthroat competition. Just cut the throat of others and march ahead. No need of cooperation. But in Vedic society, the whole body used to cooperate with each other. All sections of the society made for each other, supplement each other. So there's no need to imitate. Okay, everyone is made for doing some special work for Krishna, right? So you can read the purport, Prabhuji.
One's occupational duty is prescribed in Bhagavad Gita. As already discussed in previous verses, the duties of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra are prescribed according to their particular modes of nature. One should not imitate another's duty. A man who is by nature attracted to the kind of work done by Sudras should not artificially claim to be a Brahmana, although he may have been born into a Brahmana family. In this way, one should work according to his own nature. No work is abominable if performed in the service of Supreme Lord. The occupational duty of a Brahmana is certainly in the mode of goodness, but if a person is not by nature in the mode of goodness, he should not imitate the occupational duty of a Brahmana. For a Kshatriya or administrator, there are so many abominable things. A Kshatriya has to be violent to kill his enemies, and sometimes a Kshatriya has to tell lies for the sake of diplomacy. Such violence and duplicacy accompany political affairs, but a Kshatriya is not supposed to give up his occupational duty and try to perform the duties of a Brahmana. One should act to satisfy the Supreme Lord. For example, Arjuna was a Kshatriya. He was hesitating to fight the other party. But if such fighting is performed for the sake of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there need be no fear of degradation. In the business field also, sometimes a merchant has to tell so many lies to make a profit. If he does not do so, there can be no profit. Sometimes a merchant says, "Oh, my dear customer, for you, I am making no profit." But one should know that without profit, the merchant cannot exist. Therefore, it should be taken as a simple lie if a merchant says that he is not making a profit. But the merchant should not think that because he is engaged in an occupation in which the telling of lies is compulsory, he should give up his profession and pursue the profession of a Brahmana. That is not recommended. Whether one is a Kshatriya, Vaishya, or Sudra doesn't matter. If he serves by his work the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even Brahmanas who perform different types of sacrifice sometimes must kill animals because sometimes animals are sacrificed in such ceremonies. Similarly, if a Kshatriya engaged in his own occupation kills an enemy, there is no sin incurred. In the 3rd chapter, these matters have been clearly and elaborately explained. Every man should work for the purpose of Yajna or for Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Anything done for personal sense gratification is a cause of bondage. The conclusion is that everyone should be engaged according to the particular mode of nature he has acquired, and he should decide to work only to serve the supreme cause of the Supreme Lord.
Yeah, so that is the conclusion. Okay, so we should work as per modes of nature, and with the result, we should worship the Supreme Lord. Okay, so in fact, the work becomes a cause of bondage if we perform it for our own gratification, for ourselves, But if we're performing the work, if there's a detachment and devotion while working, then we'll be saved from the inherent defect of the work. Every work, whether we are performing as a Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, or Brahman, it has some fault. Brahman's work has a fault that he may have to perform some animal sacrifices. Shudra has a fault that he may have to serve the master who is not performing proper work. Kshatriya has a fault that he has to kill some animals or he has to kill on the battlefield. And Vaishya has the fault that he has to speak lies. Okay, these are the faults and they are inherent. So we can be saved from this, we can save from the effects of these faults if we perform all these activities with detachment and devotion. Giving up the activity is not the solution, because you cannot give up the activity, and giving up the activity of my occupation and performing the other's occupation also will not solve the problem, because every occupation has its own occupational hazards. Okay, so that is explained in the next verse. Sahajam karma konteya sudoshamapi na tejet sarvarambha hi doshena dhumena agnivavrita. Yeah, Shreya Mataji.
Every endeavor is covered by some fault, just as fire is covered by smoke. Therefore, one should not give up the work born of his nature, O son of Kunti, even if such work is full of fault.
Yeah, so every work in this material world, it's all faulty. Whatever work we perform, there will be some fault. Okay, so in the second paragraph purport, Prabhupada is writing, a very nice example is given here. Although fire is pure, still there is smoke. Okay, yet smoke does not make the fire impure. Even though there is smoke in the fire, fire is still considered to be the purest of all the elements. If one prefers to give the work of a Kshatriya and take up the occupation of Brahman, he is not assured that in the occupation of Brahman there are no unpleasant duties. One may then conclude that in the material world, no one can be completely free from the contamination of material nature. We just cannot be free. It's a dirty place. We just cannot, we cannot avoid it. All activities has some inherent fault in it. Okay. So further down the line, 6-7 lines down, Prabhupada is writing in the purport. When a particular type of occupation is performed for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord, all the defects in that particular occupations are purified. That is the solution. Okay. Whatever occupation we have, we should perform for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord, and all the defects are taken care of. Right. Next. Asakta buddhi sarvatra jitatma vigata spriha naishya karmyam siddhim paramam sanyasena adhigacchati. Yes, Sarika Mataji.
One who is self-controlled and unattached and who disregards all material enjoyments can obtain by practice of renunciation the highest perfect stage of freedom from reaction.
Now from this section, from 49 to verse number 54, Krishna will be explaining how one can be free from the reaction of work through Jnana Yoga, and through that he will attain the Brahmabhut stage. So how will we do that? It's asakta buddhi sarvatra jitatma vigata spriya. One who is self-controlled, unattached, and who disregards all material enjoyments. So he will do what? He will give up the mentality of being the doer, and he'll give up the attachment to the results. And then the second stage, what he'll do? Naishya karmyam siddhim paramam senya senadi gacchati. The Gyan Yogi will give up the work itself. Okay. In the first stage, sannyas, he gives up the attachment to the results and attachment of being the doer and enjoyer. And in the second stage, he will give up the work itself. These are the Gyan Yogis. Okay. So in the first 2 lines, Prabhupada is writing, real renunciation means that one should always think himself part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and therefore think that he has no right to enjoy the results of his work. Right? So what will happen when he'll do like this? Then the verse number 50, we will read. Devashish Sarprabhu, will you read?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
O son of Kunti, learn from me how one who has achieved this perfection can attain to the supreme perfection stage, Brahmana, the stage of highest knowledge, by acting in the way I shall now summarize.
So if one does like this, he can stage to the stage of Brahman. So he has stopped working, and now what he will do to attain the stage of Brahman, that is explained in the next 3 verses. So we'll read Dinesh Narang Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Being purified by his intelligence and controlling the mind with determination, giving up the objects of sense gratification, being freed from attachment and hatred, one who lives in a secluded place, who eats little, who controls his body, mind, and power of speech, who is always in trance and who is detached, free from false ego, false strength, false pride, lust, anger, and acceptance of material things, free from false proprietorship, and peaceful. Such a person is certainly elevated to the position of self-realization.
Yeah. Easy to do. Very easy. All these things. Purified by intelligence, controlling mind, determination, giving the objects of sense gratification, being freed from false ego, false prestige, lust, anger, greed. Easy to do. Very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. But one Gyanis do like this. And then they attain the stage of Brahma Bhuta. Okay. Now what is the Brahma Bhut do's? Brahma Bhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhakti labate param. Yes, Dolamani, Amit Prabhu. Dolamani.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
One who is thus transcendentally situated at once realizes that the Supreme Brahman and become fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed towards every living entity. In that state, he attends pure devotional service unto me.
Yeah. So at this Brahm stage, he always remains happy. You know, Prasannatma. Prasannatma means fully joyful. Or our Acharya says, Baldev Vidyabhushan says, fully pure. You know, moreover, we are pure in our heart, more will be joyful. Okay. So this is a sign. So Prasannatma, na shochati, na kankshati. He does not lament. He does not desire anything material. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu. He is equipoised towards all living entities. He treats everyone equally, like a child. You know, child is equal to everyone. You know, whether you are a gentleman or you are a wicked person, child doesn't know. He treats everyone equally. He doesn't go by externals. Okay. So like that, a person Brahma treats everyone equally, then Mad Bhaktim Labate Param. If that Gyan Yogi is satisfied with the Brahman realization, which is the impersonal aspect of the Lord, he'll stop here. But if he's attracted by the all attractive feature of the Lord, he will march ahead. He'll try to go ahead. And then this person becomes eligible for my pure devotional service. Kevala Bhakti Param. Mad Bhaktim Labate Param. Supreme devotional service. He becomes eligible for that. Okay. So Prabhupada is writing in the second paragraph. In the material concept of life, when one works for the sense gratification, there is misery. But in the absolute world, when one is engaged in the pure devotional service, there is no misery. The devotee in Krishna consciousness has nothing for which to lament or desire. Since God is full, living entity who is engaged in God's service in Krishna consciousness becomes also full in himself. He is just like a river, cleans of all dirty water. Because a pure devotee has no thought other than Krishna, he is naturally always joyful. Now, we have a question, so we'll discuss afterwards. You can just keep it with you and remind me when we discuss afterwards. So now we have performed devotional service. So this Brahman stage is lower than the devotee stage. You know, one who worships the Lord Kṛṣṇa himself. So if at Brahman stage, one is Prasannatma. So devotee should always be joyful. So we all are trying to perform the devotional service. How many of you in your lives sometimes feel miserable, distressed? Sometimes. Occasionally, rarely. Everyone. Yeah. But here, Lord is saying, Prasannatma, na shochati, na kangshati. He does not lament. Normally we lament for the past. Oh, what I did. I should have done like this. What a mistake I have committed. I'm a fool. I'm this. We curse ourselves. We curse others. Lamentation or desiring. Maybe when the day will come, I have a big, nice car. When a day will come, I'll be very healthy. When a day will come, I'll look like this. I'll do like this. We all have this kind of desires also, and we lament also. So, but a devotee should not do like that. A real devotee, so the more we have such kinds of shochati and kangshati, that means what? If in our life we lament a lot, we have lots of desire, that means what? Complete the sentence. That means what?
There is more difficulty and stress, Prabhuji.
Huh?
More difficulty and stress in life.
But why it happens?
Because we are attached, Prabhuji. Too much attached with materialistic things.
Yeah. So what is the solution?
Practice devotional services so that we can slowly be detached with these material attractions.
Yeah. And practicing this devotional service means what?
Majorly chanting.
Yeah, that means keeping Krishna in the mind, keeping Krishna in the heart. If you're keeping Krishna, if you're engaging our mind also, if our mind is occupied with Krishna's thoughts, Krishna's service, then one must be joyful. If one is keeping himself in the center, then we are bound to be miserable. Problem is this only. Sometimes we are so much self-absorbed, self-centered, and that leads to all this kind of shochati and kangshati. We are at the center. Why this thing has not happened to me? Why my plans are not being implemented? Why things are not going as per my plans? So we lament, we become distressful, we are not happy. But if we keep Krishna in the center, everything I do, it is for the pleasure of Krishna, then whatever may come, the material life there may be ups and downs, but we'll always be joyful. We will not be, carried away by the ups and downs of material life. Okay. So this is how we can do some introspection, right? Now, after attaining the devotional service, what will happen? Bhaktya mama vijanati yamanaschasmi tatvata tatoman tatvato gyatva vishte tadanantaram. Okay, Pradeep Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. One can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of me, by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God.
Yeah. So after Brahmut stage, if one performs the devotional service, he can enter into the kingdom of God. Only by devotional service, one can know the Krishna as it is. Not by karma, not by jnana, not by yoga. Only by devotional service. Because that is the constitutional, original, natural living condition of a living entity. When we reach our natural position, only then we can understand Krishna. Right? Okay. Now verse number 56 to 66 will describe about the pure devotion. Verse number started from 49. From verse number 49, we started how a jnani will attain Krishna. Okay. A jnani will attain Krishna. How? He will become free from the reaction of the work. He will give up the work. He will reach the Brahmut stage by using his intelligence, Shama, by curbing his lust, anger, false ego, everything. And then he will reach the Brahmut stage. And from the Brahmut stage, he will attain devotional service. And from devotional service, he will go back to Godhead. Now, how will a devotee will work? We'll see the devotional process becomes so easy. It will become very easy. How is that? Sar karmani apesada kurvano madhyapashraya mat prasadad vapnoti shashwatam padam avyayam. Okay. Yagnesh Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So engage in all kind of activities. My pure devotee under my protection reaches the eternal and imperishable abode by my grace.
So the Jnani Yogi had to give up all kinds of activities, and devotee may be engaged in all kinds of activities. But what he has to do, he just works every activity under his protection and reaches the eternal and imperishable abode of the Lord. Read that purport, please. Yagnesh, read the purport.
Yes, Prabhuji. The word Mad Vyapashraya means under the protection of the Supreme Lord. To be free from material contamination, a pure devotee acts under the direction of the Supreme Lord or his representative, the spiritual master. There is no time limitation for a pure devotee. He is always 24 hours a day, 100% engaged in activity under the direction of Supreme Lord. To a devotee who is thus engaged in Krishna consciousness, the Lord is very, very kind. In spite of all difficulty, he is eventually placed in the transcendental abode for Krishna Loka. He is guaranteed an entrance there. There is no doubt about it. In that supreme abode, there is no change. Everything is eternal, imperishable, and full of knowledge.
Yeah. See, so this is what is, So there will be difficulties in this material world. Prabhupada is writing, In spite of all difficulties, he is eventually placed in transcendental abode or Krishna Loka. Okay, this material world means difficulties. But a devotee will keep on performing all the activities under the protection of the Lord. Under the protection of the Lord means under the direction of his bona fide representative Guru. So whatever work we are performing, if we are performing as per the instructions of a bona fide spiritual master, we are safe. That will take us back to Godhead. If you are not following the instructions of spiritual master, we think, oh no, I am independent. I don't want any control. Give me freedom, Prabhu. I just want freedom. These days, this is the call. Everyone say, I need freedom of expression. I need freedom of choice. I need freedom of this, that. In the name of freedom, people are breaking all kinds of rules and regulations. And they think that they are free. No. If you're not working under the protection of Krishna, we are working under the dictates of Maya. Another three modes of material nature. So we are never free. So by surrendering to the spiritual master, by surrendering to the will of the Lord, we really become free. When we go back to Godhead, then we are free. Body means limitation. As long as we have this body, we can never be free. This body is like a cage for the soul. We are being encaged in this body. It's a punishment for the soul. Soul is not free. We want to eat unlimitedly. We cannot eat. This body has limitation. It requires rest. We need to sleep. We need to freshen up. Then there's so many diseases we have to take care. And everything. We get tired. We feel thirsty. We feel hungry. The body is full of limitations. It's a kind of punishment for the soul. So while we are in this material world, there will be difficulties. But if we keep working under the instructions of the spiritual master, then we'll go back to Godhead, and that abode is transcendental, imperishable, full of knowledge. There are no problems. Okay. Once His Holiness Enidum Swami Maharaj, when he was a brahmachari, he was traveling with Srila Prabhupada, and they were coming from America to London. So this was the first time Enidum Swami Maharaj, when he was a brahmachari, he was accompanying Srila Prabhupada. He was his secretary. So when they got down at the London airport, so lots of devotees had come to receive Srila Prabhupada, and they were dancing and chanting on the airport. And Enidum Brahmachari, he was thinking, wonderful, now I'll go to London. This was Sunday love feast. I'll have wonderful feast. Those days in ISKCON, Sunday love feast means they used to cook 10, 12 items, very wonderful items, and the devotee used to just take the feast up to their neck. And they used to just wait for the Sunday love feast. And Prabhupada will give lecture, we'll have dancing, chanting, and wonderful feast. He was just relishing that thought. Suddenly they come to know that one of the briefcase of Prabhupada is misplaced. So the president of London Temple said, Prabhupada, the time is coming very close. We have to start the program. What we do, Prabhupada, you come with us and we leave this brahmachari. He will bring your suitcase afterwards. No option left because he was a secretary. Everyone left. And then Swami Maharaj, he had to wait at the airport for recovering that briefcase. He has to wait for 2-3 hours. And that briefcase came, and then he was all alone, and he brought it to the temple. By that time, love feast was over, lecture was over, prasadam was over, the temple was being cleaned late at night, and the briefcase was very heavy, and he was feeling very, very hungry. So when he reached the temple, when you reach the temple after the prasadam is over, all the devotees are taken prasad, and they are very relaxed, and you are not taken prasad, you are tired, hungry. So what a contrast, No one will be able to empathize with you. They think everyone has taken prasad. You must have also taken prasad. So he just came. Everyone is just in their own world. So where is Prabhupada? Prabhupada is on the 4th floor. Lift is not working. And he has this heavy briefcase. So he goes up to the stairs, very feeling frustrated inside. And he just bangs the door with his leg. And the door gets open. And in front of him, Prabhupada is standing. And gets a shock of his life. Immediately offers Dandvat Pranam. And immediately offers Dandvat Pranam. Prabhupada, taps on his back and says something and goes away. When he gets up, another secretary of Prabhupada, his guest Nanda Kumar Prabhu was standing. So Indranand Swami Maharaj asked him, what Prabhupada said? So Nanda Kumar Prabhu said, Prabhupada said, as long as you are in this material world, there will be problems. If you want to be free from all the problems, go back to Godhead. So as long as we are in this material world, there will be problems. Even though we are performing devotional service, we are serving spiritual master, there will be difficulties. But we have to just tolerate these difficulties and keep on performing devotional service under the protection of the spiritual master. And then when we go back to Godhead, then we can freely dance with Krishna, play with Krishna, eat with Krishna, no problems. No virus, no vaccination, no schools, no colleges, no coaching, no GST, no sale tax, no terrorism attacks, no strikes, nothing. Just fun. Keval Anand Kand. Only bliss, nothing. That is our real life. So if we follow the instructions of Bhagavad Gita, we'll attain this life. Okay. Now, we have to perform all kinds of activities, but we have to be sure these activities are under the instructions of bona fide spiritual master. Right? Next verse. Now, Arjuna may ask, what is a practical application for me? So, very nice verse. Chetasa sarva karmani mai sanyasya matpara buddhi yogam upashritya mat chittam satatam bhava. Okay. Yes. Who has not read so far? Nikki Kumari Mataji. Will you be able to read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
In all activities, just depend upon me and work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me.
Yeah, read the purport also. Your voice is cracking, Mataji.
The master of the
Hare
world.
Krishna. Your voice is cracking.
He does not act as the master of the world, just like a servant. One should act fully under the direction of Supreme Lord. A servant has no individual independence. He acts only on the order of the master. A servant acting on behalf of the Supreme Master is unaffected by profit and loss. He simply discharges his duty faithfully in terms of the order of the Lord. Now, one may argue that Arjuna was acting under the personal direction of Krishna, but when Krishna is not present, how should one act? If one acts according to the direction of Krishna in this book, as well as under the guidance of the representative of Krishna, then the result will be the same. The Sanskrit word matpara is very important in this verse. It indicates that one has no goal in life save and accept acting in Krishna consciousness just to satisfy Krishna. And while working in that way, one should think of Krishna only. I have been appointed to discharge this particular duty by Krishna. While acting in such a way, one naturally has to think of Krishna. This is perfect Krishna consciousness. One should, however, note that after doing something whimsically, he should not offer the result to the Supreme Lord. That sort of duty is not in the devotional service of Krishna consciousness. One should act according to the order of Krishna. This is very important point, that order of Krishna comes through a disciplic succession from the bona fide spiritual master. Therefore, the spiritual master order should be taken as the prime duty of life. If one gets a bona fide spiritual master and acts according to his direction, then one's perfection of life in Krishna consciousness is granted.
Guaranteed, yes. Very powerful purport. Yeah. So we will like to say some important, powerful points from this purport. Which points have struck you the most? Let's have some revision.
Prabhuji, last line is the most important line.
What is that?
If one gets the bona fide spiritual master and acts according to his direction, then one's perfection of life in Krishna consciousness is guaranteed.
Yeah, so we have Srila Prabhupada as a bona fide spiritual master. So if we act as per his instructions, then our life in Krishna perfection, Krishna is guaranteed. Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else? What is that? Who is that? Mamta Bhatta. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. The Sanskrit word matpara is very important in these words, and it indicates that one has no goal in life save except acting in Krishna consciousness just to satisfy Krishna. And while working in that way, one should think of Krishna only. I have been appointed to discharge this particular duty of Krishna.
Yes, very good. We should keep on reminding ourselves again and again in whatever I am doing, is this act will please Krishna? Just cross check, what I am doing, will it be pleasing Srila Prabhupada and Krishna? That's it. So if you are reading Bhagavad Gita, and then we'll be able to come to know. And if it is not pleasing Krishna, why I am performing? For yourself. If performing for yourself, it will never give me happiness. What is the example Prabhupada used to give? If we perform work for our own happiness, it will never give us happiness, it will give us misery. How will you give the example? How will you illustrate this by giving an example? If you perform work for yourself, it will give rise to misery. If you perform work for Krishna, it will give you happiness. Any example from day-to-day life? Famous examples.
Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, while making prasadam for Krishna, so the quality and the taste of prasadam is very good. But if I will not make for the Krishna, means if I will not offer that prasadam and I will making for the prasadam for my happiness, so that the taste and the quality of prasadam is somehow not that much good.
Good. Yeah, this is a practical demonstration. Yes. Any other examples? Yes. Good, Mataji. Thank you. Any other example? Day-to-day life example, which every common man can also understand. Prabhupada used to give examples, very, very famous. Yes, Dola Manipamadu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, the example of servant and master Prabhuji, if the servant is cooking and he is not first giving to the master, if the master is not pleased, then he will not be pleased.
Okay. But more striking example Prabhupada has given, more striking. Watering the root of the tree. And if you water the root of the tree, the whole tree will be nourished. If you I individually put water on each and every leaf, the leaves won't be nourished. Another example, feeding the stomach. If I put food in the stomach, feed the stomach, the whole body is nourished. There's no need to individually put food on the eyes, food on the nose, food in the ears. No, just feed the stomach, the whole body is nourished. Similarly, Krishna is the root of everything, cause of all causes. So you just perform action for the satisfaction of Krishna, I'll be naturally satisfied. And Prabhupada in the preface of Bhagavad Gita says, this is the central point of Bhagavad Gita. This is the central point. This is such a simple fact, but we all conditioned souls, we are not able to appreciate it. Such a simple fact. We are part and parcel of Krishna. Krishna is the root. We are the branches. Until unless we satisfy the root, how can we be satisfied? Impossible. But somehow the Maya is so strong. Even after knowing this, we keep on doing work for our own satisfaction. So Prabhupada says in the Bhagavad Gita preface, Krishna wants it and Krishna demands it. This is the surrender. You perform all actions for my satisfaction, then you will be satisfied. Because we are not independent of Krishna. We are completely dependent on Krishna. Right? So Chetasa Sarva Karmani Mai Sanyasya Matpara. Offer your consciousness while performing all the activities to me. Matpara. Give it to me. Then Buddhi Yogam Upashyate Mat Chitta Satatam Bhava. Taking shelter of Bhakti Yoga. Mat Chitta Satatam Bhava. Always think of me. We should check ourselves in 24 hours how much I am thoughtful of Krishna. All the work I am performing, is it really for the pleasure of Krishna or whimsically I am just performing my own work? So it should be under the instruction of a spiritual master. That way I can make my life perfect. Now what will happen if I follow these instructions and what will happen if I don't follow these instructions? Mat chitta sarva durgani mat prasada tarishyasi ath chetvam ahinkaran na shroshasi vinangshasi. Rabindra Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, please.
If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness, but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost.
Very simple. Krishna is very straightforward. So we have these problems of conditional life, obstacles of conditional life. Mat chitta. If you engage your consciousness in me, if you always think of me, sarv durgani, all the obstacles, tarishyasi, you will overcome. At chetam ahankara. If out of false ego, if you do not follow me, at chetam ahankara, na shroshasi, you don't listen to me, vinangshasi, you will be lost, you will fall down. So Krishna is clearly giving these instructions. Okay. So you can read the purport, Prabhuji. Ramindra Prabhu.
A person in full Krishna consciousness is not unduly anxious about executing the duties of his existence. The foolish cannot understand this great freedom.
Each and every line is very powerful. Yeah, just a minute. Each and every line of these two verses are very, very powerful. 57 and 58. I request you to again read it in your home also. So a person in Krishna consciousness is not unduly anxious about executing the orders of duties of his existence. A person in Krishna consciousness is not worried. How will I maintain my family? What will happen? What will be the future? Not insecure. It doesn't feel insecure at all. Why? I'll read it again. Next line.
The foolish cannot understand this great freedom from all anxiety.
Yes, the other people, they cannot understand what's happening to them. They're not at all bothered. They're always very blissful. Yeah. How it is possible? Prabhupada is explaining.
For one who acts in Krishna consciousness, Lord Kṛṣṇa becomes the most intimate friend.
Yes. Please read.
He always looks after his friend's comfort and he gives himself to his friend, who is so devotedly engaged working 24 hours a day to please the Lord.
Yes,
Therefore,
yes. So Lord becomes the most intimate friend. Such an intimate friend, the Lord gives himself to his devotee. And Lord provides all comforts, not the needs. He says, Prabhupada is writing, Lord Kṛṣṇa becomes the most intimate friend. He always looked after his friend's comforts, not the needs. Lord takes care of so much. Once in Jagannath Puri, there was a devotee by the name of Raghu. You know, he was a devotee of Lord Ramchandra. And he went to Lord Jagannath's temple for the darshan. And in Lord Jagannath also, he was seeing the Lord Ramchandra. He was so devoted. So then he thought, let me make a garland for the Lord. So he made a garland for the Lord. And when he offered the garland to the Pujari, Pujari says, no, this garland we cannot offer, because in this garland, this has been made from the flowers of an impure tree, so we cannot use this garland. We won't put it on the Lord. He was very disappointed. He went back to his hut and he was crying. And when the pujaris were decorating the Lord did not accept their garlands. Any time they used to put the garland, it used to fall down. The pujaris were very surprised. They tried and they tried and they tried, but the Lord was not accepting anything from them. So they then understood, oh, we have certainly committed some offense. The Lord is not accepting our services. So they also became very morose and they slept without decorating the Lord. If you have been to Jagannath Puri, in the night there's a special shringar. So the Lord, on that day, there was no shringar. So they were also feeling very bad. So in the dream of the head pujari, the Lord appeared. And the Lord says, I am feeling very bad because you have offended my very dear devotee Raghu. You have not accepted his garland. Go and bring his garland and put it around me. Then only I'll accept your decorations. So head pujari got up. He woke up all other pujaris. Who is this Raghu? And they started searching for him. They went to his hut. And the Raghu was also crying that I could not serve the Lord. They say, Raghuji, you are such a nice devotee. Please come, give us your garland. And they put the garland around the Lord. And Lord Jagannath became such an intimate friend of Raghu. It happened, Lord used to leave his altar and join Raghu every day. And they just became friends. So one day, the Lord Jagannath told Raghu, I want to have a jackfruit. So Raghu said, okay, I'll bring tomorrow. But no. And then in our king's garden, there are a lot of jackfruit trees. Let us go and take the jackfruit away. It was midnight. Raghu said, Lord, you want it now only? But yes, when I was in Vrindavan also, I like stealing, So let's go and steal jackfruit. Okay. So in the middle of night, they went to the garden of king. And Lord told Raghu, you climb the tree, pick up the biggest fruit and just throw it down, I'll catch it. Yes, Lord, whatever you say. So Raghu climbed the tree and Raghu was reputed as a very wonderful devotee. Everyone knew that Lord Jagannath is his friend. So Raghu picked up the more heaviest fruit and just threw it. And wait and watch what happens. When he threw the fruit, the Lord was not there. And it created big sound, and immediately the watchman got alert and the watchman came running. And when he threw the torch and he saw, hey, Raghuji, you are here, such a big devotee, caught red-handed. What to do? Such an embarrassing position. Raghu is on the top of the tree, caught red-handed, So that gardener said, no, it is beyond my reach. I cannot punish this such a nice devotee. He went to the king. King said, why are you disturbing me in this night? He says, this Raghu, and he is caught red-handed stealing this jackfruit. King was also surprised. So king also went there. Raghu was there on the top of the tree. So king said, Raghu, please come down. If you wanted the jackfruit, you could have told us, there was no need to steal it. Raghu said, I also didn't want to steal it. It was Lord Jagannath's desire. And he made me to climb. And then when he told me that I'll catch the fruit, but he's not there. So this was a sense of humor of Lord Jagannath. What happened? Later on, Raghu got old. He got very sick. He got so sick that, he used to pass stool and urine on his bed only. Every day, what used to happen? Lord Jagannath used to come in the disguise of a boy. He used to clean his room, clean his clothes, clean his bed. And Raghu could identify, this is Lord himself. He caught his hand. Oh Lord, why are you doing like this? You are cleaning my stool and urine. No, please don't do that. If you really want to serve me, you cure my disease. Lord replied, no, I won't cure your disease. Why? Because I want to show to the world, this material world is full of miseries only. And my devotee, even in such condition, they keep on remembering me. So I won't cure your disease, but I want to serve you because you're my most dear friend. This is how Lord himself gives himself to his devotees. Okay. We have to just think of the Lord. We have to perform everything for the Lord's pleasure. Mat chitta, sarva durgani. What kind of obstacles we are facing in our life, they will be cleared by the mercy of the Lord. You know, and Prabhupada is writing by his own realization. Lord provides for the comforts of his devotees. Prabhupada suffered so much when he was here. You know, when Prabhupada used to go for preaching, he had only one kurta, and that kurta was also torn off. His godbrother said, Swamiji, you are going for preaching, just take my kurta. You know, Prabhupada was so much poverty stricken. When Prabhupada used to go for begging, and whatever money he used to bring, from that money, he never used to buy atta, dal, chawal. No, he used to buy paper. Because on that paper, I write books, Srimad Bhagavatam, and that will be published. So Krishna saw that, you know, and Krishna gave himself to Prabhupada. And later on, when Prabhupada went to West, Prabhupada got all kind of success, and Prabhupada was given all kind of facilities, comforts. But it was all given by the Lord. So this is what Prabhupada is writing. We should not
I think we'll just wait. So I request everyone to please wait. So you might be joining again.
Sorry, that's connection got off. Yes, anyone who has not yet read? Kana, use the translation.
Prabhuji, which
Mute.
was
59.
if you do not act according to my direction and do not fight, then you will be falsely directed. By your nature, you will have to be engaged in warfare.
Yeah, next verse also.
Yes, Prabhuji. Under illusion, you are now declining to act according to my direction, but compelled by the work born of your own nature, you will act all the same, O son of Kunti.
So Krishna is saying, if you will not hear me, because Krishna could see that Arjuna is still hesitant to fight. So Krishna said, okay, if you do not act according to my directions and do not fight, you may falsely directed, but you will ultimately fight because this is your nature. Now someone may ask, when Arjuna had to fight eventually because of his nature, why Krishna was impelling him chapter after chapter, fight, fight, fight? Why this Bhagavad Gita was spoken? When Arjuna had to fight because of his own nature. You know, although Arjuna was declining to fight, but ultimately he would have fought because it was his nature. When Krishna knew that he will ultimately fight because it is his nature, then why Krishna spoke Bhagavad Gita? My question is clear?
Lord Krishna gave Bhagavad Gita for us actually through Arjuna.
Why? What was the purpose?
So that we can get knowledge that how we are attached with these materialistic things, and we can be detached with it, and we can follow the real path. We can choose the right path and go back to Godhead.
Good try. Yes, Kana.
Prabhuji, the scheme of Bhagavad Gita is to get out of the material entanglement and be situated in the life of bliss, eternal bliss and knowledge.
Okay, okay, okay. Dolamani Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Lord Krishna instructed Arjuna to fight for him so that he will be free from the bondage of the world.
Yes, that is the point. He had to eventually fight, but you fight for my pleasure. So whole Bhagavad Gita was spoken for changing the consciousness of Arjuna. And whole purpose of our understanding, reading Bhagavad Gita is to change our consciousness also. It's very important. That's why Prabhupada named the society International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Everything depends upon our consciousness. Arjuna also fought, Duryodhana also fought. Only difference was in consciousness. Activities will remain the same. Only thing, the consciousness has to be changed. So after this course, 18 session, 19 session course, our consciousness should change. The way we deal with the world, the way we look at the world, our perspective should change. Okay, that is the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. That's why Lord spoke. Okay. Now, if you don't follow my instructions, if you act whimsically out of your false ego, what will happen? You will keep on wandering in this material world, in different bodies. Ishvara sarvbhutanam hridaya deshe Arjuna tishtati bhamyan sarvbhutani yantarunani mayaya. Rahul Prabhu, read that.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's hearts, O Arjuna, and is directed and wandering all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy.
Yeah. So as per our desires, Lord will provide us different bodies. This body has been compared to yantra, machines. Okay. And as per our desires, as what we deserve, as per our karmas, we are given different sets of bodies. And we'll keep on wandering. Last 3 lines, 4 lines of this purport. The living entity is not independent. One should not think himself independent of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The individual is always under the Lord's control. Therefore, one's duty is to surrender, and that is the injunction of the next verse. Tamev sharanam gaccha sarvabhavena bharata tat prasadan param shantim sthanam prapyasi shashvatam. Yes, Priyanka Mataji. Yeah.
O Shivano Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace, you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal abode.
So my Krishna is saying surrender onto him. Onto him means the super soul within the heart. And who is this super soul? Is Krishna himself. Because in 15th chapter, Krishna also said, Sarvasya chaham hridi sanavishto mata smritinyam apohanam cha. So the super soul is same as Krishna. Okay. Next verse. Idhite jnanam akhyatam guyat guyatanam maya vimrashchanda sheshena yat jesi tatha kuru. Okay. Yes. Hari bol Prabhu. Hari bol ji. Yeah.
Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Thus I have explained to you knowledge still more confidential. Deliberate on this fully, and then do what you wish to do.
Yeah. Guyat guyataram maya. So Krishna will in the verse, Guhya knowledge is Brahmut platform. Guhya knowledge is that I am not this body, I am soul. That is Guhya. Guhyatara. Guhyatara is, there is a super soul also. In the previous verse, Krishna has said, Ishvara sarvbhutanam hridaya Arjuna tishtati, and we should take shelter of the super soul. That is Guhyataram. So now Krishna is saying, I have explained to you this more confidential knowledge. Now deliberate on this and do whatever you wish to do. This is Krishna's opulence of renunciation. Krishna is not imposing himself. You have to follow me. No, I have given you everything. Now you decide. Okay. Sarva guyatam ambhuya shrinu me param mancha ishtosi me dridmati tato vakshyami te hitam. Yes. Who is left? Not yet spoken. Muthu Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
O Shin of Bharata.
No. Next verse, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thus I have, because you are my very dear friend, I am speaking to you my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit.
No, in previous verse, Krishna has said, you just deliberate and do whatever you wish to do. Then Krishna saw that Arjuna was getting very, tense, and Arjuna started deliberating. So Krishna's heart melted out of compassion. He said, "Oh, you will get confused because I have told you so many things: karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga. You will get confused." So what is Arjuna? Sarva guhyatamam bhuya. Again, I will repeat the most confidential knowledge. Guhya, guhyatara, guhyatamam. What was the guhya knowledge? Confidential knowledge. What was the guhya knowledge I described? Yes, Dolamani Babu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, it is the knowledge about soul.
Soul. And what is guhyatara? What is guhyatara? Guhya is knowledge about the soul, confidential knowledge. More confidential knowledge is what?
Prabhuji, it is about super soul, supreme.
It is about the super. Thank you. And what is guhyatamam? Any guess?
It is the means how to surrender to the means how to have connection with that super soul and or how to surrender to that super soul.
That was guhyatar. And what is guhyatamam? Yes, Manish Prabhu.
Prabhuji, it is beyond soul and super soul. It is about connection with the Supreme Lord in his Samsundara form.
Yes, in the Krishna. That is guhyatamam. So bhuya, again, where Krishna has described this knowledge before, most confidential knowledge. Where in Bhagavad Gita Krishna had described most confidential knowledge? Rabindra Prabhu.
In chapter 9, Prabhuji.
Yes, chapter 9 was titled Most Confidential Knowledge. And what was the most confidential part of that most confidential knowledge? Chapter 9. Ravindra Prabhu.
Knowledge about the Supreme Lord, Prabhuji. Knowledge about the
what was that knowledge? What was that knowledge?
Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God, and we are the Attain.
Yeah, that's okay. Which verse? Yes, Muttu Prabhu.
Prabhuji, about Aishwarya Gyan.
No. What was that? It is Man Mana Bhav Mad Bhakto Madhya Jimam Namaskuru. So Krishna will repeat the same verse again. Next verse. Man Mana Bhav Mad Bhakto Madhya Jimam Namaskuru Mame Vishisi Satyam Te Prati Jane Priyosime. Krishna had spoken this verse in 9.34, last verse of 9th chapter. And now he's repeating it because it is most confidential knowledge. Arjuna, you are getting confused. I know I can see you're getting confused. You're not able to, you're deliberating, you won't be able to make a decision. So I am telling you once again, the most confidential knowledge, because you are my friend, very dear friend. So this is again, I'm repeating. Man mana bhav bhakto madhya jimam namaskaru mameshis satyam te prati jane priyosime. Yes, Manish Prabhu, read the purport and translation and purport.
Yes, Prabhuji. Translation. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Now, purport by His Divine Grace. The most confidential part of knowledge is that one should become a pure devotee of Krishna and always think of him and act for him. One should not become an official meditator. Life should be so molded that one will always have the chance to think of Krishna. One should always act in such a way that All his daily activities are in connection with Krishna. He should arrange his life in such a way that throughout the 24 hours, he cannot but think of Krishna. And the Lord's promise is that anyone who is in such pure Krishna consciousness will certainly return to the abode of Krishna, where he will be engaged in the association of Krishna face to face. This most confidential part of knowledge is spoken to Arjuna because he is the dear friend of Krishna. Everyone who follows the path of Arjuna can become a dear friend to Krishna and obtain the same perfection as Arjuna.
Thank you. So, this very important instructions for all of us. Prabhupada is saying one should not become an official meditator. Bhakti should not be performed officially, ritualistically, just to complete the quota. Prabhuji had told me to chant 16 rounds, but to do, Prabhuji, I have to make this commitment, just chanting. Kya karu? Karna padega. Not take it as a load, not take it as officially. Give your heart, engage your mind, try to give your best of the best. It's a love affair. We are trying to love Krishna. It's an internal affair. It's the affair of the heart, not official relationship. Krishna doesn't want official relationship. Krishna wants our love, our heart. Okay. So whatever activities you're performing, we should perform it from the deepest core of our heart. Acknowledging man mana bhav man bhakto. We should mold our life in such a way that 24 hours we can think of Krishna. Right from the morning when you get up, start kirtan. Surround ourselves always with sound vibration of Krishna. Chanting the holy name, Krishna's katha. You're traveling, keep on chanting Hare Krishna. On your car, the kirtan should be played or some lecture should be going on. Okay. Whenever you get time on your smartphone, open some ebook, read Prabhupada's purports. Call your friend, discuss about Srila Prabhupada's purports. Somehow the other, keep on thinking of Krishna. There are so many ways we can think of Krishna. Of Krishna's glories, of Krishna's names, Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's sweetness. When we go to the temple, see the beautiful form of Krishna, meditate on Krishna's beautiful form, what kind of dress Krishna was wearing today, what kind of jewelry he was wearing, what kind of flower decoration was there, thinking of Krishna. Okay. Cooking for Krishna, So that way we should always keep ourselves busy in Krishna conscious activities. And all these activities should not be done officially. Not just a matter of formality. Don't be an official meditator. Krishna is in our heart. We understand that. It's not a duty, it's love. It may start with duty, but if we should approach towards love. Okay. So if you do like this, man mana bhav man bhakto, always think of me. If you cannot do this, okay, then engage your senses in my service. Mat bhakta, mat dhyaji, at least do some worship. Daily we should do some worship. I hope all of you must be having some temples in your home, some altar. Offer some incense daily, make it a practice. Clean the temple, offer some flowers, offer some incense. Do it personally. Namaskaru, offer obeisances. From your heart, offer obeisances. So that way, such a simple thing. So what will happen? Mame vishisi satyam te. I promise Arjuna, you will come back to me. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says in the commentary, Arjuna must have replied, but Krishna, don't mind. I know these people from Mathura, they normally don't speak truth. In each and every talk, they say, Satyam te, Sachi mein. In truth, I am saying this, but they don't say truth. And this is their habit. You are from Mathura. Lord says, okay, I agree. The Mathura Vasis are like this only. But Mathura Vasis don't cheat the people who are very dear to them. You are very dear to me, Arjuna. Priyosi mein. So Satyam te. This time I am saying Satyam te. This is Satyam. Really I am Satyam. You will come back to me if you perform one of these 4 activities nicely from your heart. I know I am Mathura Vasi. I speak lies also. And I say Satyam te, but I speak lie. But this is really because you are very dear to me. Satyam te. You will come back to me. Okay. So Prabhupada is saying, if we follow these instructions, we'll also go back to Godhead. Satyam te. There's no sanshaya about it. There's no doubt. Okay. Next verse. Sardharmana parityajya mamekam sharanam raja aham tvam sarpapebhyo mukshashyami ma shucha So Arjuna may have asked to think of you, to become your devotee, to offer you obeisances. Well, my heart is very bad, Krishna. I'm not so pure. So for this, do I have to really perform some austerities, some vows? I have to cleanse my heart. Then I can think of you. Krishna says, no. Whatever is a condition of your heart, you just come and surrender unto me. I will purify your heart. Don't worry. Okay? Abandon all varieties of religion. Just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. I have described you everything right from chapter 2. Sankhya Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyan Yoga. Give up everything. Just perform Bhakti Yoga. Just surrender unto me. And don't worry. Don't hesitate. Do not fear. And whatever sinful actions you have performed in the past, if you surrender to me, I'll nullify everything. Don't worry. Okay. So that way Krishna is assuring us. So this is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Because Krishna came here to establish dharma. And now Krishna is saying, give up all dharma. Because the real dharma, real duty is to take shelter of Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam says, Save punsa paro dharma yatha bhakti adhokshaje ahetuki apratihata ya atma suprasiddhati. The supermost occupation for the humankind is to perform devotional service for Krishna. Only then the living entity can be completely satisfied. Because we have intimate connection with Krishna. Until unless we perform devotional service to Krishna, we can never be satisfied. So Krishna is saying, just surrender unto me. Surrendering means what? Surrendering means practically, the Lord Chaitanya has given to Sanatana Goswami. You can see in the purport 3rd paragraph. The process of surrender to Krishna is described in Hari Bhakti Vilas. Anukulasya sankalpa patikulasya vajanam rakshasiti vishwaso gopitve varnam tatha आप निक्षेप कार्पण्य शन विदा शरणागता. There are 6 elements of Shanagati. First is Anukulasya Sankalpa. Come on, be quick. Whatever things which are favorable for question is not clear.
Yeah, Prabhuji, the voice is breaking.
My voice is breaking.
Yeah, now it is coming.
Not clear.
Now it is coming, Prabhuji.
I'm asking. Okay, I'm asking. Anukulasya Sankalpa. Whatever is favorable for devotional service, we should accept. So, what are those things which all we have accepted, which are favorable for devotional service?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Which we were not doing it earlier. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, the voice is getting in between some breakage, so there is some discontinuities. Yeah. Yes, Sonika.
Yeah, now it is clear, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji, now it is clear.
Yes, Sonika. Yeah. Sonika Mataji, can you raise your hand?
Yes, Prabhuji, you asked what is the example of Anukulasya Sankalpa. So, Prabhuji, association of devotees is the example of Anukulasya Sankalpa.
Yes, very good. Now we are associating with devotees. Any other thing? So many things we have started. Hare Krishna. Dolmani Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, hearing Bhagavad Gita in association of the devotees.
Yeah, same thing. Association of devotees hearing. What else?
Following 4 regulative principles and chanting and taking Krishna Prasad.
Yeah. Yeah, very good. Chanting, taking Krishna Prasad. Yes, these all are inclusive and capable. What are the unfavorable activities? Yes, yes.
Prabhuji, please repeat your question. आपने अभी क्या बोला?
प्रतिकूलस्य वर्जनम.
प्रभु जी आपकी वॉइस बहुत क्रैक कर रही है.
क्रैक कर रही है.
Okay, Prabhuji, I
What
think
to do?
we could understood Prabhuji. Prabhuji's question was, what is the example of Pratikulasya Varjanam? What is not favorable to Krishna consciousness? What thing we have done? We have given up.
Offenses.
Offenses, okay.
So
Dinesh Prabhu.
material association.
Material association, very nice. Material association is given up. Rahul Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji, Prajalpa on material subject matter.
Yes, yes, talking on material subject matters.
Prabhuji,
That also.
not taking prasadam.
Yes, not taking passion, we have given up. Very good. So with this, we have given up. Okay. Then Rakshasa Vishwa. So while doing this, we may have some fear. What will happen? Don't worry. Krishna will give me all protection. Krishna will protect me. And Krishna will maintain me all. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Am I audible?
Yes, Prabhuji, but it is interrupted.
In Chaitanya story of Mrigari. Interrupted. Okay, what to do? I will use now. I will take off my headphones. Let's see. Hare Krishna. Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is the story of Mrigari. You know, Mrigari, you all know. He used to kill half-killed animals, and Narad Muni met him. And Narad Muni said, please don't kill these animals in such a way. They are really suffering. If you want to kill them completely, fully. So then he said, okay, what to do? It's a very sinful thing. So Narad Muni said, just give up this. Break your bow. Immediately break your bow. And Mrigari immediately broke the bow. And Mrigari asked, but if I am breaking this bow, who will maintain my family? Narad Muni said, I will maintain your family. Don't worry. And he broke the bow. And after that, Mrigari, along with his wife, they went on the outskirts of village. They sat down near the Tulsi plant and started chanting. And Narad and the whole news spread in the village that Mrigari had become a saint. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, we can hear you, Prabhuji. Yes.
Okay. So Mrigari has become a saint. So people used to come to have his darshan, and they used to bring all kinds of foodstuffs with them. And so much foodstuff came that Mrigari started distributing to all the people. Food for Life program is started. So Krishna will surely maintain us. This kind of confidence we should have. Okay. And the fifth was Atmanikshepa Karpanya Shan Vidashanagati. We should perform devotional service with all humility and taking shelter of Krishna. So this is the Shanagati. These all things we keep on doing, then Krishna will give us all protection. Okay. Now, verse number 67, who will read? Pradeep Prabhu, will you read the translation?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
So this confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, nor to one who is envious of me.
Yeah. This confidential knowledge will not be appreciated by one who is envious of Krishna, but still we see devotees of Krishna go everywhere and preach the knowledge of Krishna. They take this risk, okay, because devotees are more compassionate than the Lord. Next verse, Prabhu. Pradeep Prabhu, continue.
Yes, sir. For one who explains in the supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end he will come back to me.
Next.
There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear.
Yeah. So this is the inspiration for all of us. Verse number 16 and 69 that we distribute Bhagavad Gita. How many of you participated in Gita Marathon? Good. All of you, mostly all of you. So this is the words you must be knowing. We must be quoting these verses also. So it is a very great opportunity for all of us to also, we should always keep on distributing books, not only in marathon, every time, wherever we get this opportunity, we should distribute. This will please the Lord, will become very dear to the Lord. Next, 70, Nitin Prabhu, can you read? Nitin Pradhan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah.
For one who explains the supreme secret.
No, verse number 70. 70. Verse number 70.
Okay, sir. And I clear that he who study the scared conversations of our worship me by his intelligence.
Next.
And one who listen with faith and without envy become free from painful reaction and attain to the occupied planet where the precious dwell.
Where the pious dwell, will be the auspicious planets. Okay. Yes. Next, Sanjeet Sharma ji, read verse number 72.
O son of Pritha, O conqueror of wealth, have you heard this with an attentive mind? And are your ignorance and illusion now dispelled?
Krishna is a perfect teacher. Now he's asking for the feedback. So after the session, we should ask for the feedback from the students. Okay. So Arjuna is giving the feedback. Arjuna vacha nashto moha smriti labdha tat prasadapne uchate sthitosmi gat sandeha karishye vachanam tava. Okay. Yes. Sanjeev Prabhuji, read the translation.
Arjuna said, my dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am now firm and free from doubt and prepared to act according to your instructions.
Yes, this should be the effect of hearing Bhagavad Gita. What karishye vachanam tava. Whatever Krishna is saying, I am ready to do that. Okay. If we are not at this stage, we should again read Bhagavad Gita. Again, this stage is not, again we should read Bhagavad Gita. Till we come to this stage. Karishye vachanam tava. I'll follow your instructions. Nashto moha smriti labda tat prasadat muchati. Sthitosmi gat sandeha karishye vachanam tava. All my doubts have been dispelled. Sthitosmi, I am situated in my situation as your servant. I will not work for my own satisfaction. I'll work for your satisfaction, Krishna. Order me as you want to order. I'll just follow your instructions. So this is Arjuna's feedback to Krishna. Okay. In the second paragraph, Prabhupada is writing, the word moha is very important in this verse. Moha refers to that which is opposed to knowledge. Okay. Now Sanjay describes. Sanjay Vacha. Verse number 74. Priyanka Mataji.
Sanjay said, thus have I heard the conversation of two great souls, Krishna and Arjuna, and so wonderful is that message that my hair is standing on end.
Next.
By the mercy of Vyasa, I have heard these most confidential talks directly from the master of all mysticism, Krishna, who was speaking personally to Arjuna.
Next.
O King, as I repeatedly recall this wondrous and holy dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, I take pleasure, being thrilled at every moment.
Next one.
O King, as I remember the wonderful form of Lord Krishna, I am struck with wonder more and more, and I rejoice again and again.
Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, Tat Shri Vidyo Bhote Dhruva Neter Mater Mama. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. Hari Hari Bol. You know? So these are last 5-6 verses Sanjay is saying, and Sanjay is so excited that I want to hear this message again and again, again and again. And I'm whole body is getting excited. I'm struck with wonder more and more. I rejoice again and again. How many of you are having this experience? Oh, why this Gita has ended? This Gita mid session has ended. We want to hear it again and again. Parnam Pari Prabhu, start it again. So how many of you have this kind of experience? Yes, so congratulations to all of you. You have completed Gita. And Sanjay is giving his opinion in the last verse. Wherever Krishna is there and wherever Arjuna is there, the 4 things will always be there. Victory, opulence, morality, and power. We all want these things. We all want victory. We want morality. We want opulence. And we want power. We have to just keep Krishna with us. Krishna is the center of our lives. The whole life will be perfectly aligned. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Pandavayan Prabhu. I overshot the time. Thank you.
Again, it is such a great blessing to all of us. With such clarity, with such conviction, you have conveyed the message of the Supreme Lord directly into our hearts. We are ever grateful to you.
I am grateful to you, Prabhuji, for giving this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Okay, if some of the devotees have any question, they can ask. Yeah, then I will, share some announcements. Whatever Prabhuji has blessed us, we will continue in the same spirit. We will continue the series of Bhagavad Gita not in a direct chapter by chapter, but in a way that we can really go into the depth of Bhagavad Gita. Yes, Prabhuji, there are some questions. Would you kindly answer them? Can we take questions?
Yeah, Sonika Mata, Dinesh Prabhu, and then yes, Sonika Mata.
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, my question is from 47th verse, where it has been mentioned that we should perform our own occupation, and it should be decided as per our nature. So, how our nature will be decided, Prabhuji, in today's life or today's condition?
Yeah, you are absolutely right. It's very difficult. So what will happen is when we start chanting and we start following Vaishnav's instruction, we start performing some services. So when our heart becomes purified, gradually and slowly, we come to know of our nature. We try different things, then we come to know, oh, I think I am good at this. I'm good at this. Okay. Before reading Bhagavad Gita, we are not even aware who are Kshatriyas actually, what are the qualities of Kshatriya, what are the qualities of Brahman and all those things. And after going through all this, and after performing devotional service, and after chanting, living in the association of devotees, gradually come to know. Okay, I have more of this. My more inclination is toward this. So gradually it will be revealed. Okay, for that we can consult our seniors also. They can also help us. They observe us and they can also help us understand.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Till then, whatever we are doing, we keep on doing, and Krishna will reveal to us. Dinesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful lecture, Prabhuji. ISKCON has been full of amazing personalities, Prabhuji. You're also one of the amazing personalities.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm just trying.
Yeah. Prabhuji, I have 2 questions, Prabhuji. This again coming to that shloka number 18.47, that everybody should do work according to his own nature. Yeah. Now, my question is, Prabhuji, I understand there are 4 varna ashrams, Brahmanical, Kshatriya, Vyapna, this. Now, my question is, somebody, if suppose a Kshatriya mode, apna occupation, and he is trying to develop a Brahmanical qualification, like, just forgive me if this is an offense, Prabhuji, like ISKCON teaches us to come in the Brahmanical mode. And suppose somebody has a Kshatriya mode of occupation, then how do you look at it? He may fail or he may not like it. Then how do you take it? That is my question, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So once Prabhupada was asked the same question. So Prabhupada replied on the morning walk in Los Angeles, 1974. Prabhupada asked the same question. Prabhupada replied, the world's 2 most biggest wars Ramayana and Mahabharata were fought by Vaishnavas and won by Vaishnavas. They were Kshatriyas. Okay. So Krishna consciousness is all pervasive, all inclusive. So when we have a Kshatriya bent of mind, one who likes to do a lot of management, administration, is welcome. Developing Brahminical qualities means that we have to develop our mode of goodness. Even if we are working as a Shudra, we are cleansing the floor, but we do with honesty, we do with the mode of goodness. Even if we are Vaishya, we'd like to collect money, do some business, do it, but with mode of goodness. So that way it is.
Right. I have one more question, Prabhuji.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. It's clear now.
Thank you so much. Yes, Mamta Mataji.
Prabhuji, I have one more question. I'm sorry.
So one more question. Sorry, please go ahead.
Yeah. Prabhuji, all this Bhagavad Gita, what we have studied so far, Prabhuji, Lord Kṛṣṇa has been the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yes.
Now, all this during conversation with Arjuna, he has never imposed him as a, look, I am a Supreme Personality. It's not a never was a side of a bossism thing that you do because I am saying. Every time he has left out saying that I have explained you, now you do whatever you do. Though it's a good management style, but then what is there any specific reason why Krishna has never imposed himself on Arjuna, Prabhuji?
This is, and love is not by imposition. Love is by free will. You know, you cannot put a gun. You have to love me. Say I love you. No. Free will. I have told you everything. This is how we should also manage. This is how we should raise our children also. Educate them and let them develop. Decide as you can. So that way they will own. You know, if you just force yourself, they will always rebel. This is also Krishna's opulence of renunciation. Krishna is the supreme controller, but he doesn't like to control. We don't have any control, but we want to control. You know, this is a contradiction we have. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Yes, Mamta Mataji.
प्रभु जी मेरा जो क्वेश्चन है वो थोड़ा स्टूपिड होगा एक्चुअली मेरा जो क्वेश्चन है वो श्लोक का संख्या है 63 प्रभु जी जैसे हम लोगों ने बोला कि ब्रह्मभूत तो ब्रह्मभूत मीन्स दैट द कंडीशन व्हिच इज जॉयफुल एंड मीन्स द नेवर लैमेंट्स एंड नॉट डज ही डिजायर्स एनीथिंग तो मेरा क्वेश्चन है प्रभु जी मीन्स बिफोर दिस दैट कॉन्फिडेंशियल नॉलेज अर्जुन किस स्टेज में था मीन्स ब्रह्मभूत स्टेज में थे या फिर मतलब आफ्टर गेटिंग दिस कंडीशनल नॉलेज एंड which stage Arjun was like, Prabhuji?
Yeah, right. It's not a stupid question. It's a good question. Arjun was a pure devotee of the Lord. Arjun was in a Sakheras. He's a Pakka devotee of the Lord. But Arjun was put in illusion because of Krishna's Yog Maya. It was by Krishna's will that Arjun should be put in illusion. To educate all of us, Arjuna was made the medium. Prabhupada used to give example. If a mother-in-law has to correct his new daughter-in-law, she will not scold her directly. She will scold her daughter to give the message to daughter-in-law. You know. Similarly, to give the message to all of us, Arjuna is made the Maya medium. So Arjuna is already a devotee. He has the most confidential knowledge. You know. That's why in the 11th chapter, Arjuna is offering a obeisance. Sakheti matva prasamam yaduktam. Hey Krishna, hey Yadav, hey Sakheti. Oh Krishna, I used to call Sakha, I used to call Yadav, I used to joke around with you. Now I'm seeing you are so great. Now I'm seeing your universal form. So please forgive me. You know. So Arjuna was intimately related with Krishna. So Arjuna had all the knowledge, but Krishna had made him forget that knowledge because Krishna wanted to give this knowledge to all of us. Is it clear, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Yes. Dola Mani Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, you told that we should perform the devotional service with all our hearts. So how to do that, Prabhuji?
Practice, Prabhu. Like it starts with chanting. When we are chanting, our mind will run here and there. That is the nature of the mind. But if we also run along with the mind, then that's an offense. Mind will go here and there. Our duty is to bring the mind back to the chanting. If you are not doing that, that's called inattentive chanting, and that's an offense. That's the ritualistic chanting, mechanical chanting. You're not even bothered. Wherever mind is running, let it run. I'll just complete my quota. So when we chant, we should not be quota conscious. We should be quality conscious. Okay. Everything we do, we should see whether I'm doing it mechanically. If we are honoring Prasad, before honoring Prasad, we chant the prayers. Mahaprasadi Govinda. So observe yourself. Am I repeating these prayers from the heart or just ritualistically? Do I really understand the meaning of this prayer? I should really understand the meaning of this prayer and pray from the heart. So that way, whatever I am doing, I should know what I am doing, for whom I am doing, and why I am doing. That's it. Then we are not doing it mechanically. Clear, Prabhu? Hari Bol.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji.
Sorry, Dolaman. Yes, yes, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for your lecture. Prabhuji, I want to know that at the end of the instructions, what is the stage of Arjuna? That means which rasa he is in after all these instructions.
Sakheras, I told you. He was there in the Sakheras, and again he came back in Sakheras. Right. Yes. Who else? Kana.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you for the wonderful class.
Thank you. You are very inspiring, Kana. Yes. What is your question?
Prabhuji, why, like in 18.72, Krishna is asking that has your illusion been dispelled? But in many verses of Bhagavad Gita, he has asked that. So why is he again and again asking Arjuna?
Because now his message is over. He has given the most confidential knowledge. So now he says, I have concluded. Now, if you have understood everything, if not, then I'll start again. Okay. Yeah.
But Prabhuji, he asked the same question. He asked the same question in the mid of Bhagavad Gita also. So I'm getting a bit confused.
No, he didn't ask this question. Arjuna had told that my illusion is getting over. In 11th chapter, Arjuna had told, it is going away. My illusion is going away. So, but Krishna, still I want to see your universal form. In the 10th chapter, Krishna has disclosed to Arjuna that I am the cause of all causes. Aham sarvasya prabho mata sarvam pravartate. And Krishna described how my opulences are spread all over the universe. And Arjuna also acknowledged, you're the Supreme Lord, Param 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 Dham Pavitram Paramam Bhava. So he said, now Krishna, in the beginning of 11th chapter, he said, my illusion is going away, but still I want to see how you are all pervading. Just show me your universal form. So Arjuna used to say, my illusion is going away. Okay. This is the first time Arjuna Krishna asked, have your illusion gone? That.
Okay, Prabhuji.
Yes, thank you. Good observation. Yes, Sonika Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, whenever we used to go to a temple and have darshan of deities, and we just pay our senses, what should be what should be our prayer, and how should we should take the darshan? Means what is the way of correct darshan, and what should be the prayer?
Yeah. So every deity has some pranam mantra. I hope you all of must be knowing. You know that pranam mantra of deities?
Prabhuji, Namo Vishnu Padaya.
That is for the Srila Prabhupada. So when we enter, we first offer obeisance to Srila Prabhupada. We offer Prabhupada's pranam mantra. So when we are offering the pranam mantra, we should know its meaning. Okay, not just mechanically repeat it. You know its meaning. So it is full of respectful prayers, And then we get up and then we have a darshan in a very prayerful mode. Okay, we beg for the mercy. Okay, we thank Srila Prabhupada. Yes, we show our gratitude and then we beg for mercy. And then we go to the deities. Now deities also have their pranam mantra. Radha Krishna deities, Gaunitai deities, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra deities, Ram Darbar deities we have. So all these deities, they have specific pranam mantras. So those pranam mantras have their meanings also. So we should remember those pranam mantras, and when we offer obeisances, we should chant those pranam mantras, understanding, meditating on their meaning. Okay, and then we get up, thank the Lord for giving me this opportunity to have your darshan. You are so kind, you are so merciful that you have appeared in this deity form to deliver me, to give me your darshan. So glorify the Lord, thank the Lord, express your gratitude, and then reveal your heart. I'm going through this crisis. I need your mercy to overcome this crisis. Whatever is in your heart, we should go and reveal our heart. When we say I've gone to see the doctor, doesn't mean seeing the doctor just like this. When we go to the doctor, we tell him everything. Similarly, seeing the deities doesn't mean just have a darshan. No, we reveal our heart. That way, we build up some relationship with the deities. And then we beg for the mercy, beg for the strength to overcome this weakness. Okay, that's how we build up our relationship. And then we report to the deities. Next time we go, we report that now I'm at this stage. Thank you so much. But still, I need more mercy. I'm still struggling. That way, continuous relationship is there. And whenever we go to the temple, take something for the deities, some flowers, some fruits. No, we should never go empty-handed. Give something to the Lord. And if you have forgotten anything, then put something in the donation box. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay, Pandapri Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. We are really enlightened. We are really, enthused, enlivened.
This is your humility, Prabhuji.
No, Prabhuji, this is true. I mean, I'm falling short of words. It is such a big privilege to have your presence, your realizations being shared to all of us. It is indeed a great, the heavens have opened up. It has been
You're too much.
The real inner meaning of Bhagavad Gita has flowed today, yesterday, today, and also in the 12th chapter. There could not be any better benediction than to have your presence. And I would pray again at your lotus feet that whenever and whatever program we have, if we can have your presence, it will be a great blessing and inspiration for all of us. Thank you so much.
It's a privilege for me. You are so sincere, and all the devotees are so sincere, and you are seriously cultivating them. So I wish all of you very best, and please keep on continuing this good work. And Pandap Prabhu, you are taking all kind of pains, and you are really educating.
One day we will all come, and we will, if you allow, one day we will all come to to hear from you in Punjabi. We'll
most welcome, most welcome, Prabhuji. Please come. Yes, immediately when this corona is over, you should please come. The invitation to all of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you
And
so much.
by your just 2 minutes more, we would, as you said, you have really inspired us by bringing out this verse of Sanjay, that we would like to hear this message of Krishna again and again. So we will continue in the same spirit, and we will continue the course, and we will give you the details. My request is that we will be giving you the link for registration. Kindly register. We will start sometime in March. This will be a spiritual scientist course, and every Sunday we will have the association, and we will go further into the understanding of Bhagavad Gita. And this will be from 6:30 every Sunday till 8. We'll try to keep it short, and we will try to keep it between 6:30 and 8. So please continue and register yourself, and please also invite whom you want to give this benefit of this wisdom, this knowledge, this learning, and this realization of Bhagavad Gita. So thank you all very much. Thank you for your very wonderful participation. Without your participation, it would not be possible. And we have the inspiration and the aspiration to continue to receive this wisdom and knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, bring it to a level where we can integrate with this learning and make it a part of our life. So Ganesh Prabhu, you will send the link. How do we go for registration?
Prabhuji, it is uploaded in website. So the
website
link
will not do, Prabhu. Kindly kindly send it in the WhatsApp groups, please.
Yes, Prabhuji. Link will be shared in the WhatsApp group also, Prabhuji.
Okay, so please register, and you can invite others also, and mainly the IERI students, those who are already there. And we will, conduct a little bit of promotion also in IERI. So those who are new students can also join this course. Thank you very much. And once again, we bow down to Rukmini Krishna Prabhu for really giving us the inner insight of Bhagavad Gita and sharing with all of us this great wisdom, and for his enormous enthusiasm and inspiration to all of us. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai,
Ki
Bhagavad
jai.
Gita ki jai, Anantoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Jai Gaur Premanande.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so very much. Hare Krishna.